and in today's video we're going to be talking about the creepiest and weirdest grave sites and tombstones around the world. And as you can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be talking about a specific grave site that has stairs down to the grave, and you'll find out why. Before I get started though, I just want to let you guys know that I've been spending the last couple weeks making some new handmade jewelry, so I'm gonna link that down below if you guys are interested in any of them. But I always try and make super weird and unique pieces that, like, when people see you wearing it, they're like, whoa. What is that? Where's that from? So if you guys are interested in any of these pieces, it is linked down below. And once again, thank you so much for all of your support. It honestly means the world to me, and I'm so glad that I can create things that you guys love and enjoy, and it's really awesome. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into today's video. The first thing we're gonna be talking about is gravestones that only have the word specimen written on it. Now, I have briefly mentioned this in a video before, but I feel like I really need to expand. There are many gravestones in the Ohio Asylum for the Insane, but two stand out as a little more disturbing than the rest. Rather than containing a date or a name, it simply says specimens. So people weren't sure if that was like a last name. Was it people they experimented on with untested medication? Was it just body parts? I mean, there are so many theories that people have about this. And I mean, especially considering the horrible reputation of this insane asylum. The asylum was best known for its practice of lobotomy, but it was also known to have practiced hydrotherapy, electroshock, restraint, psychotropic drugs, many of which have been found to be harmful today. And it was really bizarre, the people that they were enlisting. Like, people that weren't even insane, they were putting them in this place. Like, here are some of the reasons you could be put in an insane asylum back then. Epilepsy, menopause, alcohol addiction, tuberculosis. Like, none of those really have anything to do with being insane. The burials began soon after the institution's opening, as there were deceased patients who were unclaimed by their families. And until 1943, a lot of the graves just had numbers, which is awful. The cemetery is also said to be haunted by shadowy people with strange lights. In one area, the grave's linear shapes form a circle, which is said to be a witch's meeting point. So this whole area just has really bad and like sad vibes. Next, we have the grave of Florence Irene Ford, and this is the grave that has the stairs. When Florence Irene died at the age of 10, her mother had a very strange request. She asked that her daughter's coffin be fitted with a small window with stairs leading down to the casket. Now, Florence was born on September 3rd of 1861, and apparently during her very short life, she was very afraid of thunderstorms. As soon as one rolled in, she'd run to her mother Ellen, who would patiently comfort her until the storm passed. And then in 1871, at the age of 10, Florence died of what was called yellow fever. And her mother, who was obviously very, very distraught, couldn't bear the thought of Florence being buried alone. She still wanted to comfort her during thunderstorms, even as she laid to rest. So Ellen had a small window fitted at the head of her daughter's casket and a narrow stairway built 6 feet down to the level of the window. Ellen had hinged metal trapdoors installed at the top of the stairs so she could shut them during storms, protecting her from the wind and rain as she sat by her daughter's coffin, reading or singing to her until the storm passed. So this mother would literally, whenever there was a storm, would go to her daughter's grave, sit by the window in the staircase, and would read her a book, would sing, would talk to her, would comfort her. I mean, it's really heartbreaking. The grave has changed very little since 1871, and on the gravestone it says, "As bright and affectionate a daughter as ever, God with his image blessed." And behind the gravestone lies the metal trapdoors, which can still be opened today, so cemetery visitors can still comfort Florence during storms. So because her mother has passed, people will still go and do this in place of her mother. So yeah, really heartbreaking, but also, like, I'm really intrigued by it. I've never heard of this in my life. Next, we have the tomb of Rufus E. Case. Mr. Case requested to be buried in his rocking chair and situated facing his home state of Louisiana. He was literally buried in a sitting position, which is something you never really hear. He is actually positioned next to his daughter's grave, but above ground in his rocking chair with his tomb around him. So he wasn't buried in a coffin, he was buried sitting in his rocking chair. Wow. Then we have what's called the Turning Angel statue. On March 14th of 1908, 2008, a gas explosion in the basement of the Natchez Drug Company killed 5 young female employees. The youngest was only 12 years old. It caused the whole brick structure to collapse, and apparently the victims' tombstones are only marked with their last names. Their former employer was so distraught by the explosion that he paid for the women's burial spots and commissioned the stone angel to stand over their modest graves. The angel has since attracted a fair bit of attention to the historic Mississippi cemetery. It's now known as the turning angel statue because according to people, it will literally turn its head to look at the cars that are passing by. And this effect is said to be most notable at night, which is definitely pretty creepy. Like all of the car's headlights will pass by the angel and see her light up in the dark, and her head will literally be turned to them, and it's not supposed to be. So yeah, once again, sad but pretty spooky stuff. And then lastly, we have a tombstone that says baby monster, and this is a tombstone where people don't think this baby might have been human. This mysterious gravestone could have something to do with the monster being the last name rather than a descriptor, but during this time the word monster describes someone or something with a severe deformity. So people also think that maybe this poor baby was deformed in some way and people were afraid of it, which is horrible. And even more disturbing is that this poor baby was never given a name. It literally just says baby monster. This was just a 5-month-old child, and it's really sad to see this. I mean, anytime I see any gravestone that doesn't have a name and just has like a number or like a saying like baby monster, it really upsets me. It's really sad that historically this was okay. Anyways though guys, those are all of the eerie but also sad gravestones and tombstones around the world that really baffle people and really attract a lot of attention. If there are any that I missed that are really interesting, definitely comment them down below. I could also make this into a series because there are so many, so give this video a thumbs up if you want me to continue talking about this. But yeah, don't forget, if you would like one of my new Etsy pieces, I have linked that down below. And don't forget that the strawberry shortcake video is up for members, and if you would like to become a member, all you have to do is press that join button. If you don't see it on your phone, you will definitely see it on a laptop or computer, and the next member video is coming out very soon. And yeah, I hope you guys just have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!